I always get asked, Vincent, what's the best place to park my cash? Well, rest easy. I'm ranking 16 high-yield saving accounts based on 5 tiers. S is amazing, perfect, no issues. A is great, pretty good. B is pretty average, middle of the road. C, just mid, the definition of mid. D is the worst of the worst, just nah. And we're starting with Bank of America. The APY for the Advantage Savings account is 0.01%, which is a joke. It's FDIC insured up to $250K, but that's also for every account in this video. A big red flag, it has an $8 monthly maintenance fee, but it can be waived if you meet these requirements. And you need a minimum $100 to open this account. My verdict, the rate is terrible and pales in comparison to other HYSAs that we'll talk about later in this video. The only plus is they do have physical locations if you want to go into a store, but D tier. And just to show you the contrast of what a competitive HYSA is like, next is the Laurel Road High Yield Savings Account. It has an APY of 4.5% without any minimum deposit requirements or any monthly fees. Now, I have a few HYSAs at different institutions, and Laurel Road is one of them because it's a no-frills account that delivers exactly what you're looking for, a high interest rate. One unique feature is it offers a bunch of other financial services like student loan forgiveness consultations and student loan refinancing services. My verdict, Laurel Road is a great option if you're just looking for a high rate without any frills. I'm gonna put it in A tier. But something I do want to bring up near the beginning of the video is that many people don't realize what they're missing out on by using big banks like Bank of America. Like you saw their rate, it was 0.01%. And here's what the difference looks like with a few percentage points. If you deposit $10,000 in a savings account with a 0.01% interest rate, you're gonna earn $1 in interest by the end of the year. But if you put $10,000 into an HYSA like Laurel Roads at 4.5% interest rate, you'd earn $450 by the end of the year. That's a 450 times difference. And opening an HYSA was one of my very first sources of passive income, and it continues to pay me hundreds if not thousands of dollars in interest every month. So I'll go ahead and leave some links below if you do want to check out Laurel Roads or any of the other accounts in this video. Next is SoFi. SoFi bundles their accounts together so you automatically sign up for both a checking and a savings account. Now they offer a 4.2% APY for money kept in their high yield savings account and a 0.5% APY for money kept in their checking account. But keep in mind you can only unlock this 4.2% rate if you meet one of these requirements. 1, you either set up direct deposit in any amount, or 2, you make a manual deposit of at least $5,000 every 30 days. If you don't do either of these, then you only unlock 1.2% APY for your high yield savings account. SoFi doesn't have any account fees or minimum balance requirements, and they offer 3 unique features. First, they offer FDIC insurance up to $2 million, while every other account in this video is only insured up to $250,000. Second, their saving account has a savings vault feature, which allows you to create separate sub-accounts for specific goals within itself, like saving for an emergency fund or a travel fund. It also has a roundup feature, which rounds up debit purchases to the nearest dollar and deposits the spare change into your savings, which should help you grow your savings faster. My verdict is that SoFi is a pretty solid option if you have a steady job with direct deposit and you're not necessarily looking for the highest rate for your money. The $2 million FDIC insurance is an interesting perk, but I don't think most people really need that much. And their cool features put SoFi into the A tier. Next, to sprinkle in some drama, the Wells Fargo Way to Save saving account has a beautiful 0.01% APY. It also has a glorious $5 monthly maintenance fee that you can get waived if you meet these requirements, and there's a $25 opening requirement. One interesting thing is Wells Fargo offers a Save As You Go feature that will automatically transfer $1 from a linked Wells Fargo's checking account into your savings account, which should help you grow your savings. But my verdict is, obviously, this is a trash rate, and maintenance fees? Come on. I would have put this in a C tier for the Save As You Go feature because that's a little bit unique, but because Wells Fargo has a history of legal and regulatory problems, D tier. Next is the UFB High Yield Savings Account, which offers one of the most competitive APYs in the market. Currently, it's at 4.57%, but also UFB allows you to boost this rate by 0.2% up to 4.77%. And I'm going to show you how in a bit. There's no monthly maintenance fees, no minimum balance requirements, and again, the most unique feature is that UFB allows you to boost your savings APY to 4.77%, but only if you meet these 3 tiered requirements. First is you need to receive monthly direct deposits totaling $5,000 or more. Once you complete that, you'll earn your first 0.05% rate bump. The second requirement where you can earn an extra 0.10% bump is if you have a UFB Freedom checking account and you maintain an average daily account balance that is over $10,000 every single month. And the third requirement for an extra 0.05% bump is if you use the UFB Visa debit card for a total of 10 approved transactions per month with a minimum of $3 per transaction. Now, my verdict is that UFB is like Laurel Roads in that it's a no-frills bank that offers a great interest rate. I personally also have a UFB account, but I will say the extra steps to unlock that 0.20% boost isn't really worth it. So I just stick with their regular 4.5% rate. I'm putting this in the A tier, and again, I'm sharing some links below if you want to check out UFB or any of the other accounts in this video. Next is the Barclays Online Savings Account with a 4.2% APY. Although it is above the National Savings Account APY of 0.45%, it is slightly lower than some of the other HYSAs in this video. There's also no minimum balance requirements or any monthly maintenance fees. My verdict is it's a pretty chill, no-frills account, but come on, if you're gonna have a rate that's not really that high, you should have some other features, otherwise you're like unseasoned chicken. Bland. So in the C tier. Next is the Amex High Yield Savings Account with a 4% APY, which again is lower than most of the other HYSAs in this video. Amex keeps things pretty simple. There's no monthly maintenance fees and no minimum balance requirements, and it does have a unique feature in regards to their customer service. I have the Amex Platinum credit card, and I can confidently say that Amex offers one of the best customer service experiences I ever had when it comes to large financial institutions. And if you have their savings account, you also get to use their customer service team. My verdict is, although the rate is on the lower side, if you find yourself constantly calling customer service for help, then the Amex High Yield Savings Account could be a good option. I'll put this in the B tier. Next is the Basque Bank Interest Savings Account with one of the highest APYs in this video with a 4.85%. Also, fun fact, Basque Bank was one of the first online banks in the US. There's also no minimum balance requirements or any monthly maintenance fees, so no need to worry about that. The most unique feature about Basque Bank is that in addition to its regular high yield savings account where you can earn interest like normal, you can also choose to open their mileage savings account where you can earn American Airlines Advantage miles instead of cash. Basically, this mileage account rewards you with 2.5 American Airline Advantage miles per dollar saved annually. If you have $1,000 saved over a year in your account, then you get 2,500 miles. And if you know how to optimize your miles, you can redeem the miles at around 2.04 cents each, meaning you get an equivalent of $51 in value over the course of a year for every $1,000 you have saved, which is about the same as their high yield interest rate of 4.85%. My verdict is Basque Bank offers one of the highest rates in this video, and while I think its mileage savings account is a really unique offer, for most people, I'd suggest to go with their regular HYSA cash option, unless you're really plugged into the points and miles space, because getting these miles to be worth at least 2.04 cents will require some additional work. I'm ranking this A tier, and again, links below if you want to check out Basque Bank or any of the other accounts in this video. Next is CIT Bank Platinum Savings Account, which offers a 4.7% rate. But there is a catch. This rate only applies to balances above $5,000. And if your balance dips below this threshold, then your rate drops significantly to just 0.25%. On the plus side, there's no monthly maintenance fees, but to open an account, you do need a minimum deposit of $100. My verdict is that it's great that the rate is high, but I don't love that you need $5,000 to actually qualify for it. And it's absolutely not worth it at 0.25% APY, even though it is technically higher than Bank of America and the other big banks. I'll put this in the B tier unless you do have $5K to put into your account, and then it would go up into the A tier. Next, to throw even more drama into this, Chase Savings offers a wonderful 0.01% rate, which is bad. Similar to BOA and Wells, for some reason, Chase also charges a $5 monthly maintenance fee unless you meet these requirements. My verdict, and to be fair, Chase does offer some great credit cards that I actively use, but their savings account, this ain't it. It goes in a D tier. Next is Ally at 4% APY, which is on the lower end for HYSAs. Ally doesn't have any minimum deposit requirements or any monthly maintenance fees. And it offers some pretty unique features that most places don't have. First is its savings bucket feature, which allows you to split your savings into separate buckets to allocate funds towards specific goals, like vacations, emergency funds, or major purchases. It also has a roundup feature, which rounds up purchases from an Ally checking account. For instance, if you spend $70.72 at a grocery store, Ally will round it up to $71, and that extra 28 cents goes into your savings account. Third, Ally will analyze your income and your spending patterns from your checking account, which doesn't have to be an Ally account, and then based on these patterns, they will identify small, safe amounts of money that could be earning you more money from your high-yield savings account, and then they'll automatically move that money over for you. My verdict is, although Ally doesn't offer the highest rates, it does make up for it with a lot of cool features that some people might find really helpful. I'm gonna put this in the A tier. Next, the TD Simple Savings, another big national bank. It's slightly better than BOA Chase and Wells with a 0.02% APY, which is technically 2 times more, so yay, I guess. But just like the others, it has a $5 monthly maintenance fees, but it could be waived if you meet these requirements. My verdict, D tier. Next, the HYSA with Goldman Sachs, one of the biggest investment banks in the US. Their high-yield savings account is called Marcus, which offers a 4.10% APY, which is more than the national average, but still less than a lot of the other ones in this video. They don't have any monthly maintenance fees or minimum balance requirements, which is good. But the most unique feature is that it offers same-day transfer capabilities up to $100,000. For most HYSAs, you do have to wait a few days when you transfer your money before you can have access to your funds in that new account, so the same-day transfer might be helpful if you always need your money ASAP. My verdict is that the interest rate isn't anything to hit home about, and I personally don't need that instant transfer feature, but if you do, then it might be interesting to you. I'm just gonna give this a B tier. Next is Valley Direct's HYSA. It offers an APY of 4.25%, but if you're a new customer, you can earn up to 5.05% APY with its current promotion. On the plus, Valley Direct has no monthly maintenance fees and no minimum balance requirements. You do technically need $1 to open an account, but that's like nothing. One unique feature for Valley Direct is that it does have unlimited withdrawals, which is pretty cool. My verdict is that it's a pretty solid no-frills bank. I'd say if you can get the promo offer, A tier, but without the promo, then the rate isn't amazing, so it's gonna drop to the B tier. And again, I'll leave some links below if you do wanna check out Valley Direct or any of the other accounts in this video. Next is Discover Online Savings, and it offers a 4% APY, which is similar to Marcus. It is on the lower side. The account has no monthly maintenance fees, no minimum balance requirements, and I'd say the most unique feature is that it doesn't charge you for services like insufficient funds, excessive withdrawals, or account closures, which is pretty rare and really helpful if you tend to over-withdraw from your account or if you do a lot of transfers. My verdict is that it has really solid account protections for consumers, and it could be a good option if you often overdraw from your account. I personally don't, so it's not for me. Plus, the rate it offers isn't anything to rave about, so I'm gonna put it in the B tier. Next is the Apple Savings account with a 4.15% rate, which is a fine rate. It has no minimum balance requirements or any monthly service fees, and the most unique feature about this is that the user experience is really nicely designed and very pretty, just like an Apple product. The downside is, unfortunately, you do have to be an iPhone user with an Apple card in order to use it. My verdict is it's fine. It looks nice, but getting it is impossible if you don't have an iPhone. The rate is on the lower side, so I'm gonna put it in the B tier. Which leads me to something that you got to start accepting. And it's that even if you're trying your hardest to make the most out of your money, sometimes you might still feel like you're not doing enough. And that might be because you don't know the best financial strategies based on your net worth. Click here to find out what you should be doing depending on how much you have.